Hey everybody, Sean the Tie-Dyed Wanderer. I just wanted to comment on a post that was made yesterday by a photographer that I follow because he is an absolutely stunning and amazing wildlife photographer, world-renowned, very well respected, been in tons of publications, published multiple books, has the top photography podcast right now called Beyond the Lens, which is an amazing podcast. You should go listen to it if you're in the photography world. Posted a video yesterday, or reposted a video, of a tornado intercept of the Spalding, Nebraska tornado last year, which was a beautiful tornado. In the comment, he stated that storm chasing done professionally and safely and such is amazing, which I agree. And that this video encapsulates everything that's kind of wrong with it. I'm paraphrasing that to some extent. And if I did not know who the driver was, I would absolutely agree with that statement. The driver was Reed Timmer. For those watching on Twitter, if you follow me, you know who Reed Timmer is because most of my followers are storm chasers. Hopefully, most of the photographers that follow me know who Richard Burnaby is because if you don't, you should. He's amazing. And his podcast is stellar. I really enjoy listening to it. What upset me wasn't Richard's post, because I can understand that. Richard's not a storm chaser. He doesn't know the storm chasing community. So I can forgive that. And I'm not even going to call it a point of ignorance because ignorance is intentionally not wanting to know something and intentionally trying not to learn about something. And that, I don't think it's the case. After reading some of his books and articles and listening to his podcast, I don't believe that's who Richard is at all. So I 100%, it was just, he didn't know who it was. And from the bystander on the outside looking at that video, yeah, they're in the middle of a tornado in a what looks like just a car. That car is the Dominator. I don't know which Dominator it was, but they are designed specifically for intercepting tornadoes. They're designed, I think Reed stated that they're comfortable into the mid to upper EF3 range. I could be wrong. I don't remember exactly. But they're designed to intercept and be in the middle of tornadoes. Richard doesn't know this. What upsets me about the entire situation yesterday is the weather community's response and the attacks on Richard because of that post. The number of them saying, "Oh, you're just trying to get attention and likes." No, Richard doesn't have a problem with getting attention. He has plenty of attention. He purely posted something that he looked at and again, from the outside, from a non-storm chaser perspective, makes complete sense. What I'm asking, and this goes not just for the photography community or the storm chasing community, this goes for every aspect of our lives. Instead of instantly attacking somebody, did anybody, and I looked through every single comment, and I think I could probably count on one hand the number of people that calmly replied, but did anybody ever stop to think, hey, Richard, that guy's Reed. He knows what he's doing. This is the vehicle he's driving. It was designed for this. And if you have questions, I'm happy to answer. No, everybody instantly went to attacking, and that pisses me off beyond belief. Even if you argue, well, it was ignorance. Well, your post, you're attacking him, is also ignorance, especially the people that said, well, you're a nobody. Do you even know who he is? I don't know. Did you ever look to see who Richard was? No, clearly you didn't. Now, I'm not going to come to the defense of Richard. And I'm not necessarily going to come to the defense of Reed. Both of them are in their world. I know that Reed doesn't know who Richard is. Well, I don't know that. Maybe he does. I don't know. But the responses yesterday on that post pissed me off beyond belief. If we want to, as storm chasers, if we want to be taken seriously, if we want to be taken and looked at professionally, you got to knock that stuff off. I mean, try to have some understanding. Try to educate instead of attack. What I would love to see, now, Reed is not a photographer. That's not his thing. He is a storm chaser. He is a PhD in meteorology. He's been doing this for decades. He is considered the expert, the go-to guy in the world of storm chasing, right? Richard is a top-notch wildlife photographer, and both of them have their strengths, right? I know that Richard, if he's out on a safari, he knows the animals that he's after. Those animals could kill him. You know, he's out photographing tigers and lions and elephants. And at any time, any of those animals could get angry and attack him and kill him. Just like Reed, if he does something wrong, he's chasing an animal that could kill him. Both of them know their target. Both of them know their subject very, very well. Just because one doesn't know the other subject doesn't make them wrong or bad or ignorant. It just makes them not know. And that's okay. We shouldn't be attacking people for that. We should be helping them to understand in a calm, educational fashion. We are never going to be, as storm chasers, taken seriously if we can't do that. And I find that completely unacceptable. What I would like to see, and again, where I was going with this, saying that Reed's not a photographer, Richard has an amazing podcast called Beyond the Lens. I highly recommend, if you're a photographer, to read it, because it's not related just to wildlife photography. It's related to photography in general, right? I would love to see Richard have Reed on his podcast to share information and insight. Reed has a lot of information to offer. Is he an excitable person? Yeah, excitable is the understatement of the century. While I've never met Richard, I have met Reed at least once. I've chatted with him several times. But I feel that I know both people, at least on the surface, well enough to understand that they're both good guys. Both of them know their world. Just because they don't know each other's world doesn't make them bad. What makes us bad is how we reacted to that post yesterday. Sorry for the long rant. I really wanted to say that. That's all. Richard, keep making amazing photographs. Keep producing an amazing podcast, and I'll keep listening to it. Reed, keep doing the amazing research you're doing. I know that the work you're doing is helping to save lives. I absolutely know that, and I believe that. And one day I hope to either chase with Reed or go out and photograph with Richard. That would be amazing. But until then, just be nice to each other. Anything we stumble with, anything we struggle, can pretty much be overcome with a little bit of compassion and a willingness to educate and be educated on. That's it. Have a great day. Enjoy.